Items needed to mount a turkey tail: 20 mule team borax, a hair dryer, T-pins, or you can use straight pins, a Perry knife, a tin snips, Dawn detergent, and a large piece of cardboard. If you've been fortunate enough to shoot a nice turkey and you want to mount the tail, what I'd recommend, you cut it off, the bird, take it, put it in a plastic bag, if you don't have time to work on it right away, and freeze it up. When you have time to work on it, just unsaw it. Usually takes a couple hours for a turkey tail, and then continue working on it. All this meat down in here has to come off. Take a small Perry knife, kind of open it up a little bit. Want to get down to the quills. Getting down to the quills on the back side, and I'll do the same on the front side. Now this little tail piece, the tailbone, I'm going to use the tin snips and cut it out. Try not to cut the quills. We just want to cut the little tail section out. Now, this meat in here, we're going to scrape as much of the meat off as possible. You can try scraping it off. There again, sometimes scissors or tin snips. We want to eliminate as much of this meat as possible. We've cleaned the meat off the back side and the show side. Now I'm going to take some borax, put it in my hand. This is 20 mule team. You can buy it in any laundry section. And just rub it in. And do that on both sides. We're going to wash the tail now. I like to use Dawn detergent because it is a better grease cutter. You put in a liberal amount, get a nice suds. You use lukewarm water, more on the cool side. Let's put a little bit more in. I'll take the tail, I'll put it in there, wash it around, swish it around, clean it up real good. There's a lot of blood on it. You want to make sure all the blood comes off. We have it washed. I'm going to rinse it in cold water. I'll wring some of the soapy water out of it. Then I'm going to rinse it in cold water. You just swish it around, get all the soap out of it. Wring it out. Then we're going to put it in mineral spirits next. I've taken paint thinner and poured it into this container. We're going to take the tail now. You can see it doesn't look very pretty right now. If you look at it, you kind of wonder if it's going to turn out. Put it in the mineral spirits. The mineral spirits do two things. One is it helps degrease it. Actually, there's three things. It helps degrease it, helps deodorize it, and it makes the feathers shine and fluff back up real nice. Wring it out, and then we're going to use a hair dryer and blow dry it. We've taken the tail out of the mineral spirits and drained it. Now I'm going to take a blow dryer. We're going to dry it. You want to, when you do this, you want to keep moving the blow dryer around. You don't want it to get too hot in one place. Do a little bit on the front, flip it over, and then do the back. And we'll continue drying it. See, it's getting nice and fluffy. We'll flip it over. How they shine using the mineral spirits. Now we're going to put it on a piece of cardboard next. We're fanning the tail out now. Ah, it's looking beautiful. You can be proud of shooting it. Then I'll take 2 strips of cardboard. I'll take T-pins. You can use straight pins for this. Put them together a little bit. Then we'll let it dry for approximately 4 to 5 days. We've let it dry. That can take anywhere from 4 days, depending on the weather, and it could take up to 10 days. But what I don't like about just the tail is, look at all these downy feathers. It doesn't look pretty at all. There's 2 ways of doing it. I'll show one, and then I'll show the other. I'm just going to take a piece of felt. Lay it on there. Kind of see the size I need. And then just cutting along the chalk line. Bring the chalk off. Lay it up there. And then I'll fold it underneath. And you can take hot glue. Glue it on. Fold it up. And it gives you a little nicer effect than having all that mess show. Another thing you can add to it, you can cut a little slot in there, cut a little slot, put your beard so it hangs down. Now to really dress it up, you can put this on red felt. And I'll show that in just a second. There's a couple things you can do with this red velvet. But you can see how much it really shows them colors off. You could cut a piece of plywood, square, and then hot glue this on the piece of plywood. Another thing you could do is take a piece of plywood, and I would say 1/2 inch plywood, kind of draw it around. Now remember that this is the plywood I'd be drawing on. And then take your felt, cut it a little bit bigger than the plywood, turn it around, staple it, and then you'd have just the outline of it. What you can see would be real sharp looking too. The other thing you can do is, I got this plaque from a taxidermy supply company. You put hot glue on the tail, glue the tail on, take your beard, little hot glue, put your beard up in there, and you have a nice looking one also for your wall. So the choice is yours. If you don't want to have to buy a plaque, which costs us, I think I paid $28 for this here, your red felt looks beautiful too. But either way, you have your tail done professionally, and it's a gorgeous piece to hang on your wall and be proud of.